Well, I got on the bike again and now I'm continuing where I went. By the way, I should have taken this turn in the first place, but of course I didn't, so I'm gonna drive the same track again. I turned in here just a moment ago to the right, but I have to go straight. Well, you saw the setup of the bags. The blue one, the one I showed you with the handle on top with the nicer clips, is a more expensive one, and it's also a hard case bag, or harder case, I'm going to say. And what I told you, it has a double lock, sturdy lock by the way, and the carrying handle on the lid itself. One thing about that, when you have the carrying handle on the lid and you put heavy stuff in there, you're actually carrying the load by the locks, which in my opinion is not the best way to do so. In my own bag, the black one, is the one I bought myself. It's a little cheaper, or a lot cheaper. Like I said, $5.99. Had way different clips, plasticky, soft plastic that can bend, and then you can hang it on your bike rack. It does have a Velcro fastener to lock it or to attach it to the tube of the bike carrying rack, and also you have the option, like I did, to put the straps underneath so they wouldn't flop around. Ideally I would have preferred a mix of both, the clips and attachment of the blue one and the carrying handle of the black one. But one is 35 and one €6, so big difference. And also I'm carrying my backpack with my laptop in there, some clothes and electrical wiring and stuff, and waterproof case. On the black bag I have one pair of shoes, one pair of spare socks, and a pair of jeans rolled up in there. Also this time I put my toiletry in there, tube of toothpaste and tube of hair gel. Put it in one of my shoes, takes up less space. And also have a rain poncho in there. But hopefully I will not need. In the other bag, the blue one, I got some food with me. I dined at my parents' house on Friday evening. There was some left over and I got it with me. And also today we had some nice dinner. Macaroni, tomatoes, eggplants, no, not eggplants, courgettes. Not sure what it's called in English. Insert name here. also left over something, so I got it also with me. Not that I don't have food at home, but mom's cooking is the best, everybody knows. Doesn't mean you know my mom's cooking, but your own mother's cooking should be the best. And also I had some nice apple cake with me. And that could not fit in my backpack or my other bag, so normally I carry this stuff. I'm getting to home food more often, and I have to carry it in a plastic bag on the handlebars. But this is a much nicer option, not a much nicer option. It's not. So that's what's going on. Don't know if we're yet in part 1 or 2 of the video, because well, the video is going to be in parts. Still not sure if I'm going to edit the video in one long one, to see about that, if that works. And also does depend on how the cut-offs were. Well, the reason I got to Appingedam was I bought a watch on the internet which came from a store in Delfzijl. It's a little village on the sea. Appingedam is adjacent to it. My parents live in Appingedam, and I had got the watch. I couldn't figure out how to shorten the strap of it. There was a metal strap on there, so I was in contact with the jewelry shop to go there and shorten the strap. Well, that was very successful. Dat was Wieriga Optiek in Delfzijl, Landstraat. Garrelsweer already. Well, that was a great success. They knew I was coming. Only disappointment was that I got there and they told me, well, you can pick it up tomorrow. And I went there on the Friday evening, so I would have be returning on Saturday morning, which I definitely did not want. So I told them, well, that's not something I agreed and not counted on. Well, they helped me that evening with the strap. It was a very fast fix. The lady at the counter could do it, but she had another colleague who probably was more experienced, so I had to wait for a minute or 5 or something, and then I got it back. First we decided to pull out one chain link of the metal strap, but my watch was then still too wide, so they sent it back. Another 5 minutes later I got it back and another link was pulled out, and the watch fitted actually perfectly. I like to wear my watch a little bit loose on my wrist. By the way, I'm still wearing my old watch at the moment, but it does fit nicely. Rather have it too loose than tight around the wrist, that you take your wristwatch off and that you have the imprint of your watch on your on your wrist. I do have to say I'm sweating now, so the wristwatch is not going anywhere. So that's what I have been doing on the Friday. Before we went there, my dad and I went with the car. We had some dinner. Don't know if you know it, but we ate Andijvie. Really don't know the name in English, so I will find out and insert it here. Actually very simple to make. Cooked potatoes, cooked peeled potatoes that is. Mashed up the potatoes, cut the andijvie and mix it together. Cook a nice sausage with it. Some pepper and salt in there, and that's it. For the Dutch viewers, it's stampot rauwe andijvie, but actually andijvie will be warmed and cooked a little bit in the mashed potatoes. What you also can do is, of course, lightly warm your andijvie and then put it in the mashed potatoes. Well, when we finished dinner, we got into the car and went to the jewelry shop. They were open until 8 and, well, we were very much right on time at 8:30 or so. Was not super busy. Actually, we were served right away, so that's good, no waiting. And I have to say, nice service, free of charge. Normally it's around, well, 15 euros or so to change a watch strap or to shorten a watch strap. Didn't ask for the price, but that's something I heard from a colleague who went there and tried to let the strap shortened from a watch they didn't buy there. So Winnen-Weer. It goes very fast. What at the moment doesn't go fast is my blood flow in my lower body, aka I'm feeling a numb butt. Feels like I'm getting a more head-on wind. Well, when I got back on the Friday evening from the jewelry shop, we had some coffee that evening. We watched some TV, also a crimi, watching a crime series, Silent Witness, maybe you know, otherwise look it up on the internet. Stories about the police, detectives, murder, intriguing plots. That's quite amusing. By the way, I'm telling it wrong, that was on the Saturday evening, but Friday we did something else, but we watched some TV. Well, during last week my mother was in the garden with my dad, ripping out bushes, branches, flowers to rearrange. A little bit of a mixed up and grown through each other brushes and whatnot, with prickly needles on there, which makes it hard to get them cut and whatnot. Well, on the grass, all the brushes and wood and whatnot was there, so has to be taken away. And we decided on the Friday evening that we would in the morning call a friend of my parents who asked if they could lend their cart, little cart on wheels that you can put behind your car and load up with stuff. So I went to sleep on the Friday, and my dad woke up on Saturday morning quite early and called his acquaintance to get the cart, the vehicle, he picked up the acquaintance with the car and the cart behind it and went home and went to put in the brushes and branches and somewhat leftover wood from trees. And I was awoken at 8:20 in the morning or so to ask if I would be willing to get out of bed and help. Well, I gladly did, but I didn't expect my father to go that early, so that came as a bit of a surprise. He would pick up the cart and fill it himself, but we decided, or he decided actually, with his acquaintance, that it was a good idea to fill up the car on Saturday. So that we could take it away on Saturday morning to the area where you can put your green waste and or whatnot. In Holland we call it grof vuil. Well, quite early we loaded up. 9:15 or so we had a full cart and drove to the area where I could deliver it. And then we went back for a second load. It was a nice car, not a flatbed car with high wooden panels on there, so it would be stackable quite easy. But if you have rubbish from green trees, a lot of leaves and branches and brushes and whatnot, so it has to be compacted. So I was asked at the youngest of the workers to step in the cart and put some weight on the materials, and I was in shorts. Well, guess what? I did scrape my bare legs on some wood. My legs look at the moment if a cat got me with his nails. Lucky my hands survived because, well, we had very nice gloves, leather gloves, which did not let through anything at all. Well, on Saturday morning we got the second load in much faster because it was compact material and bigger brushes, so it took us less time to put it in there. And for the second load we arrived, I think, at 10:30 at the dump. Well, we had some rakes with us, which made it quite easy to pull the stuff out of the back of the cart, because there was a lid on there that could be opened, and the car was open from the back, so that made it a lot easier. And then we went home, had some coffee and some breakfast cake, and then we went again with the car, the cart behind it, to get the acquaintance back home and the car back to the owner. Well, that was some unexpected work, but really nice. I could help my parents, and of course the acquaintance worked too, and my father of course too, but well, a little bit older than I am. My father is, I think, well, he's 75 at the moment, and his acquaintance is a man of 81 or so, still quite in good condition. But of course, when you're younger it's a lot easier. But I'm glad I could help. Really feeling the headwind now. Gonna stop for a bit somewhere, just to stretch my legs and drink something. Then of course the story will continue. See if there's a good place to stop so I can rest a bit. Well, that's not going to be here. Let's stop at the next tree line. Look, let's stop here on this lane.